by UMass head coach Matt Mccall, Trent Buttrick, Noah Fernandez, and TJ Weeks. And again, we'll begin with an opening statement from Coach McCall and then go to your questions for the players. Anytime you're ready, Coach.
Let me get my drink ready first. What a game! What a performance by our players. Just to come out the way they did and the way they continue to, and just the fight, the resilience. Even in the second half, when GW seemed to crack into our lead a little bit and make a run, but our guys always responded and found a way to close out the game. I thought the effort plays that we didn't make the first time that we played them, I thought we made tonight. And you look down at the stat sheet, especially with the guys that are up here with me right now. I mean, we can talk about Noah's scoring, and we're going to, but 7 assists and 7 steals. He's one of the best guards in the league. I'll continue to say it, long past my tenure at UMass. TJ Weeks battled some foul trouble, but the way he got the game going for us kind of really broke it open. And then Buttrick goes for 16 rebounds. That's all effort, And again, the resilience, the effort that these guys played the game with, we just keep talking. Job's not finished, and it's not, and it's a credit to them.
All right, questions for the players first. Please raise your hand, gentlemen, right there. Thank you.
Nick Lawrenson, Mid-Major Madness. What's gotten into you guys of late? You guys have been playing outstanding the last week and a half.
Who wants to take that?
It's March, and we just wanted to get some momentum going towards the end of the season. I think last game against George Mason in overtime at their place was a big win for us coming into, this tournament. And today, we were just really excited to play. We didn't come here to waste any time. We're going to prove that in upcoming games for sure.
Question here, go ahead.
Frederick Hanna, Massachusetts Daily Collegian. Matt, when TJ went out with those 2 fouls in the first.
Are you sticking to the players right now?
We're trying to go to the players first.
Oh, just the players. No, when TJ went out with those 2 fouls in the second half and then went up to 4, how important was it for you to kind of control the offense? You had 13 points the first 8 minutes of the second half.
I think today we just did a great job of just sharing the ball and being really unselfish. So when TJ went out, I just think we emphasized that a little bit more because, obviously he was hitting shots, so we were looking for him. But when he went out, we were just looking for the hot hand, and, teammates found me, and, we got it going.
Over here, yes, sir, for the players.
Lima Mercu, GW Hatchet. So, Noah, last time out against GW, you only had 4 points. Obviously, today you had 29. So, what do you think changed between your last meeting with GW and today?
Just watching a lot of the film and just breaking down, where I could get some good looks and, where I could find guys. And I think today I wasn't really thinking about offense. I just wanted to, Bishop had 24 points last time he played him. And, I just wanted to keep him under that because, he's a real special player and he could get it going quickly, as you saw a little bit in the second half. So I was really just locked in on that end of the floor for sure.
In the front row, go ahead.
No, in these past 2 games, how has your mindset switched? I think it's now 2 straight games with career highs back-to-back. What changed, especially after the shooting struggles in the middle of the season?
Just my teammates, and coaches just instilling the confidence in me, every day. Nobody tells me not to shoot. The guys believe in me, and when I'm hot, they definitely find me. So I don't think anything's really changed. I just think the guys around me have, emphasized it a little more for sure.
In the front row.
Michael Bergman, A10 Talk. You guys scored 99 points tonight, and you guys had a history of doing a lot of scoring. Last year, you guys scored 100 against St. Joe's. Only a few teams in the A10 tournament have ever gone over 100 points. What does it mean to you guys to have some success, going into the postseason, just kind of getting on a roll here? And what do you think you can do tomorrow against Dayton?
Trent or TJ, you want to take that one?
You want it, Trent? I think it just feels good to get a win, have some momentum. Like Noah said, we got this 3 wins in a row now. So, and then being able to score pretty much, effortlessly. It's not tough with guys around you like Noah and TJ, CJ.
Rich, and when we're moving the ball like that, I think it's pretty tough to guard us. So I think that's, it's fun to play out there with these guys.
In the second row, go ahead.
Joe Szymanski by George. Trent, you really kind of dominated down low today. You had 16 total rebounds. You didn't commit a foul today. 13 points, 2 blocks. With your game today, how did you kind of come in with that mindset to really kind of dominate GW down low and have the game you had?
I had a good game against them last time, so I just knew that I could dominate again pretty much, and it's my last A10 or conference tournament, so I'm just trying to play with everything I got, empty the tank pretty much.
A couple more for the players. Yes, sir, in the front row.
Aaron Robertson, All Facts Media. For either of the players, just what's it been like the last 3 games or so, just after hearing the news about coach, and how you guys kind of use that? Is there a sense of a nothing to lose type of mentality you guys are playing with right now?
TJ, you want to take it?
Yeah, for sure. It could be our last day. Any day could be our last day. So that's how we go about it each and every day. And we come out there and we just give our 110% each day. That's all it is.
Is there a final question for the players? Go ahead, sir.
TJ, similar to last season, you guys start off strong in the first round, but then lose to St. Louis last year, and now you have a tough opponent in Dayton. What did you learn from last year in that second game that you can kind of take into this game against a tough opponent?
To fight through fatigue. They were coming off fresh. They had 2 byes, 2 days off, and we were coming off a game, so we got to fight through fatigue. I believe we could do it too. We got depth all around, so.
We'll release the players now and let them go back to their locker room. If any of you need additional interviews with the players, please head that way with their SID. And now we'll take questions for Coach McCall. Right here in the back. Second row.
Coach, I think the storyline's been obviously you were officially let go about a week and a half ago. You decided to stay on for the last couple of games. It's kind of become an incredible storyline now with you guys heading to the quarters. How have you kept your locker room together and focused even with that news, you staying on and kind of just keeping head on, one game at a time?
Yeah, we've got high character kids that care about each other, care about our staff. And, I think, I haven't had a ton of time to process everything that's transpired in terms of obviously what's next for me, what's next for our staff, what's next for my family. Just trying to pour into these guys and soak up each and every day. I talked to them the other night. I had the unfortunate of one of my players from Chattanooga passed away playing a pickup game, right? And Eric Robertson was all energy, all smiles, all about the right things. And I think the message to these guys has just been, hey, man, let's enjoy each and every day that we have together, because we don't know what's next. We don't know how much time we have left, and we don't want to leave any regrets out there, right? And when you go out there and you play the game with 0 regrets, or you attack practice with 0 regrets, understanding that tomorrow is not guaranteed, a lot of times the result tilts in your favor. Not always, but a lot of times it does. And, we're having some fun. And I give our players a tremendous amount of credit for that, led by the guys that were up here, Rich, Kelly, just their positivity and their attitudes to attack the way that they've been attacking.
Yes, sir, in the front row.
Coach, you mentioned just the mentality, just kind of having nothing to lose, and on the offensive end, it seems to show. It seems like guys are having fun and making plays. I mean, do you think that has been something that has been a result of that? And I guess how do you guys carry that over to tomorrow as well?
Yeah, I don't think we like to say, well, hey, we have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? I don't think that's our mentality. I think our mentality is leave it all out there. You seniors right now, the last thing you want to do is have regret because you didn't leave it all out there on the floor. So I think that's been more of our message, as just, hey, we're going to leave it all out here, and we're going to let the chips fall where they may. And these last 3 games, they've done that. And it's great to see, and you got to give the guys a tremendous amount of credit for that.
Front row, go ahead.
I asked Noah this, but how important was he in that second half, controlling the offense and really setting the tone when you had TJ go out?
Everyone wants to talk about Noah's slump. Okay, Noah also missed games because he was hurt and had a concussion. So when you're coming back off an injury, sometimes it takes a little bit to get yourself going, right? And I mean, guys, if you look down at the stat sheet, he had 29 points, 7 assists, and 7 steals in a conference tournament game. If that's not one of the best guards in the Atlantic 10, I don't know what it looks like. I'm sorry. And I know he's ours, but he's just a warrior. And he leaves it all out there. And he plays the game with such a passion, and he's had to really work and grind to get to every step of his career. And when something doesn't go well for him, he just continues to work and continues to battle. And he was unbelievable. Guys, that's 29-7 and 7 steals. He was outstanding.
Second row, go ahead, sir.
David Jablonski, Dayton Daily News. What will you take from that first game against Dayton and tomorrow's game, and what has it been like coaching against one of your mentors, Anthony Grant, the last 5 seasons?
Yeah, Anthony is, people don't know this, Anthony offered me my first job. I was a graduate assistant coach at Florida. We had just won the first national championship in 2006. Anthony took the VCU job and called me and offered me his director of basketball operations. 5 minutes later, Coach Donovan called me and said, I thought he was calling to say congratulations, and I started the call off by just saying, thanks, Coach, for everything you did for me. I'm going to VCU. And he said, whoa, I'm going to offer you the same job here. And I remember telling Anthony no was one of the hardest things I'd had to do because of the impact that he had from me being a student manager to a graduate assistant coach to the way that he treated me through those times, the lessons he taught me, what I learned from him when he was an assistant, how he carried himself, how he scouted, how he recruited. I took all those tools to when I was an assistant coach. And my journey here as a head coach, when I was at Chattanooga and he was with the Thunder, I would call him, pick his brain on conference tournaments because of the success that he had at VCU. And even through this process that I've gone through these last 10 days, Anthony's been there for me. And he's one of the best in the business. There's not many better human beings in college basketball than Anthony Grant. What will we take from the first game? I know Dayton fans are out there. They'll have a good crowd in there tomorrow. But the home court environment that Dayton plays with, we're glad we don't have to go play in that. Just their pressure really rattled us. We did a bad job handling their pressure. They were extremely physical with us, and we've got to take care of the basketball. We can't have live ball turnovers versus them and just give them layups and points. They're too big, they're too physical, they're too athletic. So we got to make sure that'll be a big focus for us these next, whatever it is, 20 hours. We got to make sure that we're taking care of the basketball and that we're generating good shots. Because like I said, they're too big, they're too athletic, and what a great opportunity for us. We're looking forward to it.
Final 2 questions here, and then yours over here. Go ahead.
Pedro Suarez for the Massachusetts Daily Collegian. 31 points off turnovers today for you guys. How are you able to put on so much pressure on their ball handlers tonight?
Yeah, I think our aggressiveness defensively the last 3 games has been really, really good. You look what we did to Ohams, who I think is one of the best front court players. You could call him the best front court player in our league with the numbers that he puts every single night. You look what we did on Aduro. And I even thought, even though Bishop and Bamisel had really good games and they scored, I thought our aggressiveness on those guys, especially in the first half, was really, really good. So I think just our aggressiveness defensively and, a mentality, and that's all we talked about too in the huddle before the game was, hey, put your focus defensive on the defensive end of the floor. Don't worry about offense right now. This is the first time we've walked in this building. Right? Didn't get to practice, didn't get to shoot around in here. So, you're a little bit concerned that there may be some nerves. It's a great arena, and the Atlantic 10 obviously did a tremendous job setting it up. So you're a little bit nervous about, making some shots, but put your focus on defense. And I thought our defensive aggressiveness was through the roof.
Last question. Go ahead.
So last time out against GW, obviously you guys fell by 9 points. You started the game pretty hot from 3, and then it trailed off. So I'm kind of just wondering, were there any adjustments you made, or kind of what was the difference today versus a month ago against GW?
Yeah, I thought the last time that we played them, we got outworked. I thought their effort was way better than ours. And you could see that in the rebounding stat in that game. I thought they outplayed us, they outworked us. I thought in the first half, especially the 50-50 balls, the diving on the floor for loose balls by our guys, the rebounding by obviously Trent Buttrick, and I thought Greg Jones's physical presence was there as well. I thought we made those plays in this game. I thought they made them in the last time we played them. I thought we made them this game.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
I'll let you go back to your locker room.
All right.
Head coach Jamie and Christian, Joe Bamashil, and James Bishop. Again, we'll go with a opening statement. Here you go. One more down. We'll go with an opening statement from Coach Christian, and then your questions for the players first.
You know, a lot of credit to Matt Mccall. You know, I was thinking a lot about this before we played him, and just how much respect I have for him. You know, in the situation that he's in, coming out and really getting his guys to play really tough the last few games of the year, and obviously today. You know, these are tough jobs here in the A-10. You know, some great programs that are represented with some great coaches and great players. It's hard to climb from the bottom to the top. It's why the top has kind of been consistent for the last few years. Bless you. And so just got a lot of respect for Matt being able to step in here, finish out the year, watching these guys play with that kind of tenacity they play with. You know, as a person who cares about other people, cares about other coaches, it's great to see that his guys step up for him. And again, disappointed for us, but happy for him. The story of the game today, they played a lot better than us, made a lot of plays that we didn't make. You know, the first 20 minutes, you know, going into the half was as difficult at halftime as it was because we just didn't execute the things that we had worked on, and we had great preparation moving forward. Disappointed that our season has ended. Ecstatic that we took a step this year, and excited to continue to build with this group of guys.
Yes, sir. Go ahead for the players.
Patrick Stevens from the Washington Post. For either of you guys, defensively, what was kind of the root of some of the meltdowns that you guys had in the first half, and just how disappointing was it to see them have as much success at the offensive end as they did?
It started off with just giving up wide open threes. And, you know, once they started getting wide open threes, they was able to attack, get in the lane, finish around, get switches, get matchups that was favorable for them. It's super frustrating when you work on something, you know, like he said, for 3-4 days and then come out and don't execute the right way to get the win. So.
Questions for the players? Oh, yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Nick Ford, WRGW. Joe, towards the end there, you went for that windmill dunk in a close moment there. Got blocked in a pivotal attempt at the basket. What's going through your head after missing out on an opportunity to score in a key moment like that?
Basketball's fun. You make mistakes when you're having fun. That's cool with me.
Right here in the front. Yes, sir.
Bishop, you had 24 points against UMass last time around, and what were the adjustments that you have to face tonight?
Just a lot of attention. And then we had guys going. You know, Brayon had 18, Joe had 25. So, you know, I really didn't have to force too much. So, I don't think it was lost on the offensive end, really.
Question? Oh, in the back. Yes, sir.
Question for either player. Dave Preston, WTOP Radio. Their ball pressure tonight, 18 turnovers. What was the biggest thing that you guys had to contend with, you know, as far as what they threw out there against you guys?
Joe, you want to take that one?
Honestly, I don't think it was their pressure. I think we played faster than we had to. I think that has a lot to do with our season. It was more on our end than them, and I think turning the ball over is just something we have to work on and play with our own pace and not get sped up.
For the players, yes, sir.
Joey Aliberti, Daily Collegian. James, you were on Noah for the majority of the game. What was the difference between Knight and the first time you played him when he had 4 points?
I would say today he was getting a lot of switches and really attacking switches and doing a good job like that. So I would say that was the difference.
In the front row. Go ahead, sir.
So this is a question for either of you. Obviously, this might be a difficult question to answer immediately after the season ends, but I'm kind of just wondering, do you have any reflections on the season, lessons learned, kind of slow start, and then you guys picked it up in conference play, but any lessons or anything you think you can maybe build on for next year?
I think a quote I'm going to live with after this season is like, don't get punched in the mouth first. And I think we did that starting the season, we did that starting halves, and we always find a way to claw back a little bit, but you can't get punched in the mouth first.
Final questions for the players. Yep, one here. We'll take this last one.
So for either of you guys, the UMass defense was fronting you a lot, trying to deny the ball. What's it like struggling to even get to the ball like that when the defense is so intent on shutting you each down?
We had 88 points, so they only played such good defense. We just had to stop them on offense. So I don't really think that was a factor. We just have to play better defense.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll let you go back to the locker room and we'll keep Coach Christian here with us. Questions for the coach? Right in the back here first. Yes. Go ahead.
Coach Ethan Hennessy, Happening Hoops. Obviously, you're playing the tournament, you know, here in your home city. It was, you know, only one game and now you're done. But do you have any comment on, you know, the student turnout and just the general Colonial fan turnout? I'm
always appreciative of our support that we have here from our students and our alums in the area. They're always excellent. We came out at halftime, they were cheering and rooting us on. As the game got close, you could definitely feel it's going to be a factor. You know, I just wish we were able to play longer in this weekend because I thought it was really going to have a chance to grow. And I thought that was going to be great for our players to see. You know, I want these guys to be able to experience, you know, what it feels like as you're building something, as you're trying to build something that's unique and something that's special. It's not easy, but having that kind of love and support definitely helps. You know, I was hoping that we'd have a few more days to let that build. But they're always excellent to us. They're always big supporters, and I'm appreciative to be able to be the head coach here.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Jamie, and when you look at what they were able to do offensively, what you guys weren't able to do defensively, what do you think was the root of that problem? And you know, as Joe kind of alluded to, some of the issues that you found yourself getting in holes throughout the season, was this in some ways sort of a symbolic of how this year had kind of gone for you?
You know, all year long, when we had a moment to lean into, a moment to step into, an opponent to play against, you know, we just did not step up as a group. And, you know, we're one of the best teams in the nation defending the three. To give up 9 threes in the first half is completely unacceptable, and that's not who we are. You know, and I think so many times in life, you know, when you step into a situation that's a little bit unfamiliar, right? And these are emotional games here. These are mental games. We've got a lot of guys on that roster that haven't been in this situation before. You know, James Bishop, maybe Ricky Lindo are the only 2 guys that have played in the A-10 tournament before. And it's different, you know, when you get to the end of the year. But I think so many times you step into a new situation, it's just about remaining who you are and sticking to your values. And, you know, we didn't always do that this year. You know, I felt like we played inexperienced. We played young emotionally, and we allowed the emotions of the game to dictate how fast we could play physically and how smart we could play physically. And you know, it's just something we got to continue to get better at. You know, experience is the best teacher. And, you know, I'm sure by the time we meet again next year, these guys will be tired of hearing about the experience of this one. And that's the trick of a coach, is trying to get them to not make the same mistakes over and over again. Sometimes you have a group with a little bit bigger ego, so it's a little bit harder to get them there. But, again, I'm fairly happy with the success we were able to put together this year. We just got a lot of stuff we can get better at.
Right here, go ahead, on the aisle.
Coach Scott Rosenberg, WRGW. The team found themselves, 20-point deficit at half. I'm wondering, one, what's the message you give this team at half to come out of that?
Yeah, you would think it'd be emotional, but not really. It's already an emotional battle for the guys as they're trying to play. I just felt like we needed to play better. We want to talk about our ball screen defensive coverage and making we're switching, so they're driving the switches, so we thought maybe we should trap it or, just kind of make some adjustments there. Obviously we spotted them 20 points, so, it didn't matter how well we played in the second half. We're going to have to play exceptional to have a chance to come back, and we did fight coming out of there. But it was really simple. Take care of the ball. They had 9 steals at halftime, and they're a team that can really convert those. And we had 9 steals, 12 turnovers, and they had 9 threes. It's going to be hard to be in any ball game if you do that. So just trying to settle in one of those factors. We didn't have to take away all of them, but we did a great job of the threes. We took care of the ball better in the second half. But just trying to get the guys to settle down, trusting themselves. We got it down to 9 with about 4 minutes left. With the group of guys we have, that's a pretty close game for us. We can always come back from that. We just weren't able to get the breaks today we needed.
I'll take 2 more questions. The gentleman there, and then this guy here in the front has had his hand up longer. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Sam Basil, House Enterprise. Coach, in the preseason, your team was picked to finish 13th out of 14 in the conference. Entering today as the 7th seed, how do you feel like your team has improved from last year to this year? And where do you see your team, either, bringing in new guys via the transfer portal or working with the guys that you've already have? What areas do you see your team taking the next step?
Well, to win it, you got to have 3 top 18 players in the league. With a guy like Freeman, who's a talented player, and James Bishop and Joe Bamasil, I think we've been able to up our talent level to the right level, and I think we need to continue to add depth in the post and depth in some shooting. We're really missing shooting this year. They picked us last. I didn't think we would finish last, but no coach that's picked last thinks they're going to finish last. But I knew the talent that we had on the roster. I thought it would take us some time to gel it all together. And it did take us a little bit longer than I wanted to help us gel it all together. But I felt like eventually we kind of got to a place where we're really playing clean basketball for about a month's time and playing pretty well. It's all about building. This is a great place for transfers, and we've had a lot of good transfers come in for us and make significant impact for us. We're going to continue to build around what we need to do. It's good that we have 2 top-end scorers. 2 guys are top 5 in league in scoring, and we have a playmaker with Freeman. I think that gives us a really good foundation. We got to solidify the other roster spots, and our staff's already really working hard to do that.
Last question. Go ahead, sir.
You just touched on with the foundation that you guys have coming back next year, with specifically obviously Brayon and Joe and James as well. But on top of those guys, you kind of touched on the post as well just now, but what are you seeing from those guys as far as specifically Brayon, I guess, with his growth through the season, and what do you think, his ceiling is as he, enters the next chapter of his career?
Yeah, I think Freeman has the ability to be one of the best guards in this league. He's a guy that if he's a 4-year player will probably leave GW as one of the highest assisting players, one of the highest scoring players, and to really steal the ball from a lot of people. So, he's a really exceptional player. He's got some things to work on, but I feel like his fire is so unique, and it has a chance to change programs. I thought it did that for us at times this year, and did it for us at times today. And so us to continue to build and help him understand his impact, his influence on our team, I think is really important. Sometimes talented young players don't realize the impact and the influence they have on a roster, and our job as coaches is to help them understand it and help us see the ways that he can continue to help our program grow, not just by scoring the ball or assisting, but in the way that he can lead and the way that he can attack it every single day. I'm fortunate to coach him. He's a great player, great defensive player, great offensive player. We'll be able to take today as a day that we chalk it up. I thought Fernandez really did a good job on him today in terms of taking the ball from him at certain times. And Brayon will do that to a lot of people for the rest of his career, and so he's just got to continue to learn from it. But he's a great player. We're excited to be able to build around him and build around the other guys. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but he's a big part of the solution.
Coach, thank you very much. That'll conclude today.
Thank you.
This press conference. We'll be back here after the Richmond, Rhode Island game.